And welcome back here, Psi Storm Tournament 2010. It is the final series. We've worked our way through round one of the winners bracket. We're still going to stick ourselves into round two, coming up with Indy versus iaguz. It is a Protoss versus a Terran combination. First time we've actually had that combination tonight for us here in the commentary box. And of course, introducing in the commentary box myself, Tobiwan Kenobi, as well as Pandan.
That's right, and we will be playing with our good mate Indy iaguz, Indy and iaguz, sorry, Protoss and Terran respectively, and we'll be starting up in 3, 2, 1, click. And iaguz here, he's Terran. He tried to do a bit of a manual split there, and I don't think it was the best one he can do. I've actually been experimenting with that, Toby. I've been geeking out theory crafting, busting the F1 right click, F1 right click to grab your idle workers. That is actually the fastest way to do it. If you've got a fast enough mouse and you can just pump it out, hit the first six or so minerals, and yeah, that is just the best way to do it. There's no manual split or half split. If you want to get the fastest worker to mineral, it's your idle worker button.
Welcome to your minute lesson with Pandan.
Yeah, of the stupid shit that
Sponsored
only
by
a
Archaic
bad
Gaming
player would
Insight.
know.
Ah, I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right, off we go. Indy pylon down, supply depot going on down too. So basically just going on the old standard build. Get yourself up. Um, let's see. Indy not going for the block this time around. Obviously not wanting to do that against Terran. Terran not caring about it either. Dropping down the supply depot, nice and close. Still pumping out those probes, and we should actually see the barracks popping out in just a moment. That's a little bit behind, and there it goes. Well, there it goes now. It's just 150 come up, but guys, he'll be on the money. But both players both going for the barracks and gateway at the same time. 13.
Yeah, and we're seeing one player go counterclockwise and one player going clockwise. So they're both going to spot each other last, which is should be quite relieving for both of them because it does look like they're not particularly setting up for cheese. It looks like they want a long game, and finding each other last should give them a bit of relief. As both players getting their gas up now, pretty perfect on the timing here between the two of them, even though they're different races. So this is going to be interesting. This matchup here, supply depot should be coming up in the next one or two. Straight into orbital command, of course. Cybernetics core coming down, first marine coming down, and during the build of this cybernetics core, usually you see one, maybe two zealots, but it looks like he's probably on the go one because he's going double gas, Toby, which is actually pretty early for a double gas.
It is rather early for a double gas, but let's see what he actually does with it. That's the question. Are we going to see voids? Are they going to harass from behind? Reactor barracks now popping on down with another barracks also on the way. So we have a double for iaguz on the back of that one. Mule also dropping down, throwing down at the supply depot. Interesting to actually see so far tonight. It's something which I would have expected to maybe be used. The call down extra supplies from the Terran player. Both Terrans we've seen tonight decided to actually ignore that. I kind of like it. It means you never ever get supply cap.
Yeah, but that being said, it means you don't get to use a mule. And,
It's true.
you know,
Mules
if you're
are
not trying
OP.
to rush out an army in half a second, supply capping, depending on when it happens, doesn't really matter if you get yourself a mule. So this zealot is out in the time it took for that Cybernetics core to get up and start researching the walk gate. This double gas hasn't really come into play yet. Robo coming through. So perhaps that's where we're going to see that gas get sunk in, and maybe a Stalker and Sentry heavy army is going to
Bring
use
on the
up all that gas for
Immortals.
our Protoss player.
Bring on the Immortals. Counter those Marauders so well. And you know he's going at two with the concussive shells being put in the production queue as well. This is... Iaguz is just going Marine Marauder with what he's got so far. Reactors up, is pumping out the Marines. Marauders already on the way as well. Getting a nice little bit of a unit composition off right now. And, well, Robotics Facility, it's got to be Immortals. Immortals with the gateways popping off. The sentries are there. He's going to want to really make a massive, massive hole in Iaguz's base. And, well, that probe is now going to spot those 5 Marines moving themselves out there. He's also running for his own life. And, well, more into production queue. Sentries are up. Observers now into the production queue as well here for Indy. Wanting to have a bit of a look inside that Terran's base.
Yeah, that's right. Get up that observer. It's probably, I mean, as far as cost
3
to what it can do,
LCVs.
it's one of the cheapest and best units in the game. Obviously, you only need one, maybe two of them, depending on what you're doing and what map you're on. But it is one of the best units in the game. This observer, And over he goes, straight up to the base. This army here is looking like it could be preparing for a bit of a bunker. Oh, bad placement of the shield. Well, not bad, but a single one doesn't
just
quite
off the
cover the ramp.
side.
Yeah. I mean, if you put it in the middle, it just stops people from going past, but you have to put it perfectly in the middle because that is a slightly wider path than usual. And yeah, he is in pretty good position here. He's got both those sentries to hold off. Like I said, both players definitely playing a kind of game where they want it to last a little bit longer. Observer goes over, spots a natural for iaguz. How's the Protoss going to react? We've got our factory on its way for the Terran player as well. Most of his army's hanging around Zelnaga Tower. He's prepared for an attack, but at the same time, he's moved his sentries out. Is he trying to find out exactly where that army is? I think this could be a bad mistake. But luckily for him, iaguz isn't trying to do a push on, because if he did, Toby, he would just walk straight in and it would have just about been GG. Luckily for him. So now he's going to have a walk on, probably go Zelnaga Tower, get a bit of a spot. But yeah, right now, bit of a standstill as the supply cap comes for the Terran, as you mentioned earlier.
This isn't a full push. Look, that poor little Marine's about to come into the army. That Indy, I think, is only wanting to actually try and pull this army of iaguz out while he goes for that expansion. He's got, well, actually, a bit of a mistake. He's actually sitting on his full unit cap. He's a bit distracted right now, and now finally the Nexus gets built. It's a little bit late, probably about 10 seconds off that one. With iaguz already getting his expansion out, that 10 seconds it will definitely count. Reactor now coming off as well on the back of the factory. Is that actually going to be for the starport is the question. Which is also on its way out at the moment.
About the cruiser.
Oh, please, God, no. Yeah, it is. The starport's now going to jump itself across and look for the medivacs to pop out nice and fast. And there's our first one. And he doesn't have enough gas for the second one. So he'll have to wait a little bit longer there. And Factory goes for a bit of a scout. So he's going to fly straight across the base, have a good look inside that Protoss base. And, well, Nexus is already down. He's got 2 Stalkers up, and that's going to take one crap load of a time to actually bring down anything there. The Colossus is now up and running as well for Indy. The early robotics bay has got that one, so he's got to make the most of it right now. And this might be our push. Factory's now going to go in there. The Lance is not going to be researched by the time he really wants to push himself in and has to push himself in here. And that Marine army, medivacs are up. They're going to keep them alive. This could be very, very troublesome for Indy. Maybe he can pull it off. We're about to find out, Pandan. Shield's gone up. The medivac has got the Marauders now, dropping them down. Stimpaks going off. Can they bring them down? The shield's already out from the sentries. Immortal's trying to attack from the long range here. Shields are up. The medivac's doing whatever he can from the range here, but that Colossus so damaging. The entire Marine army has already gone down. The Stimpaks popping out. He's pulling in the SCVs. It's an all-in for whatever he's got left, trying to bring down that Immortal, who was trying to get himself over to bring down that Marauder, who's doing a little bit of damage to the side here. The fantastic push here from Indy, crippling iaguz down, but now the Vikings are up. It pushes the Colossus back. Great switch with the starport from the medivacs to the Vikings, and the Stalkers coming in there will push those Vikings back. The Colossus will survive. The Lance will come off cooldown, and iaguz lives to fight another day.
Oh, yeah, they concussive shells there, actually allowing him to chase down those Stalkers. Oh, he gets a second one, just. Great play. And Colossus up on the hill. I think he's done quite well there, Indy. It did cost him a little bit of money to do that attack, but he took down a fair bit of an army. And that'll serve you right for playing Terran and going M and M and M. At least he finally switched up to Viking at the end there. And another 2 on the way. Double gas at the expansion as well. He's looking for, as we said, he clearly is going for a gas-heavy build. Another gateway coming down. Another 2 gateways. He'll be on 4 gateways there. And Robotics Bay is not doing much for a while, and the facility is just pumping out another Colossus to put him up to 3. Thermalance is down, and he's in a good position here, but he needs to do something to look after these Vikings, because now the Terrans got into that horrible position you get when you play Terran, Toby, and it's, I need more Vikings, I need more Vikings, I need more Vikings.
He can pump them out too. You got the reactor on top of it and running his 2 expansions at the moment. He can easily pump them out. He's got himself now 6 Vikings on the field. Needs a couple more medivacs to make sure his Marine Marauder army actually stays alive a lot longer. especially considering those Colossus will do amazing damage to them. But you're seeing the counter coming out. Like the Colossus are coming out. It's a bit of a shame with the Colossus. You would like to see it. Like the Thors are fantastic anti-air. The Colossus, they are very, very weak against it. But that's why Indy massing those Stalkers, keeping that pylon on the sidelines too, so we can actually warp them in just on the front lines, having to move his army. Yeah, he's got so many units there. A couple of zealots for the front lines as well. Warp gating. Every single warp gate is currently chrono boosted. Indy is just trying to get mass stalkers up. Now we see another sentry come in there. Say we're missing that from the entire unit composition there.
Oh, we're going to see a conflict here at the
in.
Zelnaga Tower out in the middle. And a double, triple thermal lance, quad thermal lance coming through. The stim in combination with them is just devastating. Look at the health just go down, Toby. This is absolutely devastating. The Vikings coming in from the side to try and take down the Colossi. It took down one, gets a second one with the help of these Marauders at the end. And oh, these Marauders just absolutely pumping the Colossus. But these Stalkers should stay through the end of the battle. The Vikings, 3 Vikings here as well to finish off the final Colossus. That's cost Indy a lot of money, but at the same time, Toby, a huge bio army got taken down. Wow, at the cost of 6 or 7 Vikings. Yeah, this is a great push by Indy.
SCVs, lambs to the slaughter. The